Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you. I'm YouTube. No, I'm not. I'm just not. But I wish I was. I wish I was just for a day. I'm YouTube famous now. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. The album, Dad. That's Amanda Lepore, if you didn't know. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. The album, Dad, AF. Coming sometime real soon. The Christmas edition. Fa la 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 la. The Halloween edition. I wish I had you all alone. Just the two of us. Do you guys know what that's from? That's from the original 1978 Halloween. I just went over to my good Jitty Melissa's house, and we did an opening of Halloween 2 collectibles. It was really fun. And I also showed a lot of the collectibles that she already has because she is obsessed with the Halloween movie franchise. And we had a really fun time. I got a pumpkin cream cold brew, and she got a hot chocolate for the review. So go check out my review channel today. It's kind of a different review. I also, yesterday, I did a review of all of the new breakfast treats at McDonald's. People seem to really like that review, so thank you. Let me put on a little bit of lip gloss before we get into this video. Now I have to tell y'all, okay? I did not want to make this video. And then people say, well, if you didn't want to make it, why are you making it? Because I've received so many tweets from people. Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about this? Hell, Mel Sparkles even said, Peter, talk about this. Hey, Mel, how are you? So I thought, well, I should probably talk about this. And what we're going to talk about is this legal complaint that has been made by Tati, or against Tati Westbrook. Now, before I get into this, I do want to read a statement because I am going to reference two different people today. One is my attorney friend who has chosen to stay anonymous. She has 10 years as an active attorney in the state of California, and she's always looking into this stuff. She actually, I will read to you something about the Jeffree Star thing in just a second, but we're going to talk about the Tati lawsuit today that is allegedly has started. So anyway, so I'm also going to be reading from Drama Esquire. I have reached out to Drama Esquire, who has a thread explaining the whole thing in layman's terms, because I do not have my glasses on. I can't do math, but I am going to have my glasses on in just a second. But like this legal term stuff, like it's so over my head. I don't understand a lot of it. I get like kind of just like the bare bones of it. I understand that. But it gets really deep, and I have to say, when I started reading the complaint, I was like, this complaint almost kind of reads, and I have read some, legal articles and things like that, obviously, in my life. But when I started it, I was like, this reads very much like a drama channel reporting on this. This doesn't read like a legal complaint. So at first, I wasn't even sure if it actually was authentic, but it is authentic, and I have seen it in its entirety. I have also seen the Jeffree Star Anna Nicole Smith complaint in its entirety. My attorney friend in California, she was kind enough to find that and send it to me. And she's kind of breaking it down for me. So I'm going to be doing that video tomorrow. Interestingly enough, though, the tattoo that I said I thought it might have something to do with the tattoo, the Anna Nicole Smith tattoo, is referenced in the complaint against Jeffree Star because he also uses the tattoo on part of the paper that he wrapped certain items with. So it was in there as like a certain exhibit, and I'll talk about that later. But today we're going to talk about Tati. But Drama Esquire, whose long thread, and I'm going to link them below so you can go check out the thread, they put this on here, and I think this is important. I want to remind the drama channels who are reporting on the James and Tati legal complaint as if everything in it is true and somehow proves something against them. No, it is one person's interpretation. Legally, they now have to provide theirs. Don't report on it as fact. So nothing that I am saying today in this video is fact. It's all from this complaint that has been made. Drama Esquire refers to this partner of Tati's as Dude, and I will be referring to this person as Dude as well. So let's get into this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this legal complaint by a partner of Tati's has come out in the last 24 hours, okay? And so let me get into this, first of all, you just have to bear with me, okay? Into this from the attorney. Okay, she actually, the Jeffree Star thing, she said, hold on, where is it? She said, Oh, wait, I got out of the, okay, she wrote me many things on here, so she was very kind to do all this. As far as the Jeffree Star thing, she said, got the complaint. It was filed on the 26th and uploaded today. The tattoo you talked about is in the lawsuit. I will send a copy of the complaint to your email, but if you have questions about it, feel free to ask. And she said, downloading the Tati complaint now. So then she said, this is Tati and her husband are being sued regarding Halo Beauty. Now, I'm just going to read you what she said to me so that you guys can understand it further. I asked her, I said, can I just read it straight off of here? And she said, yes, absolutely. And this video is really just to kind of inform you guys of what's going on. So many people have come to me and they're like, oh, you thought Tati was so nice and look at her hand. Now, Tati has been nice to me. She has, y'all, okay? I cannot help that. Allegedly, she's money hungry. I mean, you know what I mean? I didn't know. They're all a bunch of snakes on the train. They are. You can't trust any of these people. We were rooting for you, Tati. We were rooting for you. But anyway, all these people are like in my DMs and they're like, oh, and you thought Tati was so nice. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? Back in the day, my husband and I, we met this guy. This is a true story. We met this guy at this party, and I'm like, should I say the name or not? It doesn't matter. People can look it up. It's from Indiana. But we met this guy at this party, right? And he, he thought we were so nice and all this kind of stuff. And so we became kind of friendly with him. And he was like, I remember the first day I met him, he had like a 1940s Mercedes-Benz that he showed us. And this guy was so cool. And he used to have these Christmas parties I had heard about. I never got to go to one of the Christmas parties because before all of that, I'll tell you in just a second. But he had these Christmas parties where he would have real reindeer and stuff, right? And he and I used to play Words with Friends. I should have known when one of his words was indictment. But I didn't know. I didn't. Anyway, I thought he was the nicest guy in the entire world. Little did I know that he then later got arrested for running one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in the entire world. Money hungry. I say this all the time in my videos and people don't listen to me, okay? Being that money hungry, like, it's sad. It's so sad. It's like the end of Fargo, you know? And I say this all the time when she says all of this for some money. So let's get in here and I'm going to read to you my attorney friend's interpretation of the complaint. Synopsis. Tati and her husband had an original partner in Halo Beauty, Dude. Plaintiff in this action. He claims he was the brains and financier of Halo Beauty. Originally, he had 50% of the stock, with Tati and her husband holding 25% each. Prior to launch, Tati and her husband met with Dude to ask for 1/3 of the company each, so all three parties would have equal interest. In exchange, Dude would be a part of future business opportunities as Tati wanted her brand to be big. Dude referenced Jeffree Star and James Charles, offers from Sugar Bear Hair to Manny, Laura, and James Charles, I'm assuming, and a potential offer to Jeffree for his cosmetics line at, I thought it said 500 million. She's saying 500,000 here. Ultimately, however, Dude alleges that Tati did not include Tati Beauty under the umbrella of Halo Beauty, as Dude believes was promised. And Tati is now venturing off again to produce a fragrance, which will be, allegedly, under an entirely different company. Dude believes these launches should have been under Halo, and thus he would receive 1/3 of the profits. And this is really interesting because I have to tell you, I have received tons of receipts from people in the past, I would say 6 months, about trademarks expiring and things like that to do with Tati. I have received so many, like, people sending me things that I've never made the videos about, and I'm sure other drama channels have received them as well, because I don't know how true they are or how factual and things like that until I had an attorney, you know, look at this. And I also said, can I get in trouble for talking about this? And she said, no, it's a public complaint. You can read it. So I was like, I don't want to report on this stuff about trademarks expiring and all this kind of stuff, but now it's making a lot of sense. I will say this, okay? That back in the day, now I don't talk to any of these beauty influencers anymore, but back in the day when I did, you know, out of all of them that I've ever talked to, Jeffree Star, James, Laura, Manny, Tati, I mean, a ton of these people I've talked to, right? Tati Westbrook is the only one that ever specifically asked me not to make certain videos. And to be honest with you, I didn't even really understand why she was at that time asking me not to make those videos. James Charles would say he didn't, like, I would put up a video and he would say, dude, seriously, the title, you know? Jeffree Star never actually had a problem with me making a video. He would just say, your job is to get facts right, so make sure that you get facts right. But nobody else, Manny and Laura never had an issue with videos that I made that I'm aware of. Jaclyn Hill was always very complimentary about things. Tati is the only person that has ever specifically asked me, because I know that this is going around right now, this conversation of Tati asking people not to make videos. She specifically, I know on 2 different occasions, asked me not to make videos. So, you know, I don't know if Tati was afraid of certain things coming out or whatnot. Okay, that was my good Judy Melissa calling me. I don't know why she must be so excited about the video going up. Okay. It's so happy. It's so much happier over there on the review channel, isn't it? I mean, opening, like drinking Starbucks drinks and opening Halloween collectibles. Okay. So then she said, I have the complaint and can highlight it in the more egregious allegations from it, which are clearly meant to shock the reader. It should be noted, this is just a complaint. This is not evidence. It is merely a synopsis. Synopsis of what the plaintiff will have to provide in court by preponderance of the evidence. So what that means then is that Tati and her husband will then come out with a counter to this and say what they have to say about this, right? What it boils down to is Dude is now claiming a right in all beauty-related launches by Tati, but in my opinion, there is fair rationale why he doesn't. The only evidence he has that he would have that interest is a conversation between the 3, which investment interest shifted to 1/3 each. But one company does not give every investor lifelong interest in all other future business ventures. In fact, this is just one attorney's interpretation of this, just one, okay? I'm just reading you that. In fact, his confirmation email after the discussion says the consideration for the change was inclusion of other channel proprietor promotional efforts deemed product collaborations. That is pretty vague and would not include the palette launch, in my opinion. Notably, also, he is throwing in so much scandalous, eye-grabbing statements in here that causes a lot of credibility, in my opinion. They lend nothing to the conversation and seek only to tear apart Tati's reputation. And none of what was stated that I can see would be admissible in court as relevant or admissible for any of these allegations. Interesting. And then I asked her if I could read it on here, and she said yes. And so anyway, so she said, I asked her the difference between like a lawsuit and a complaint and whatever, and she said a complaint is filed as the initiation of the lawsuit. And then she said, you do need to have a list of the scandalous items though, presumably. I'll see if I can copy and paste those onto a photo that I can send. And she did. And she sent me this whole thing, and it's really long, you guys, and I'm not going to get into reading that. I might hear in just a second. But she said, okay, she said it's a public document, and that I could, because I asked her, can I speak about this in a video? And she said, absolutely, it's a public document. She said, I would emphasize, as you always do, that these are just allegations. These statements have not been proven, only stated by the plaintiff. None of this should be believed unless and until the plaintiff proves in a court, and the process can and often does take years. So this could be something that takes years and years and years. The problem with this, and I was actually talking to somebody earlier about this, is that, like, can Tati come back from this? Because public perception is something that can really, now I'm going to go in just a second and kind of dive deeper into this from Drama Esquire's Twitter, this thread that was sent to me time and time again, and then I reached out to Drama Esquire and asked if I could read it, and they said yes. So I'm just going to read some of that. But the thing about this is that public perception is what could really hurt Tati long term over this, right? Like, will she be able to come back after this? I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Tati and her husband are going to have to file, you know, I don't know what their part of it or whatever, responding to this complaint, and then a lawsuit will start. I do know from reading Drama Esquire saying that the plaintiff is asking for this to be a trial jury, so that he wants his day in court, basically. So that could take a really, really long time too. You're talking about having to get these lawsuits together behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, I know friends of mine that have been involved in stuff. It just takes years and years and years and years. The problem with that is that, you know, YouTube is very instant. Like, it's like, you know, we want our answers instantaneously. So this could be, you know, 1 to 5 to 10 years of a lawsuit. And what's Tati going to do? Is she going to come? I mean, now all the questions of when is she going to come back? Is she going to come back and make videos? Is she going to come back and just do reviews or whatever? I mean, her comment section is going to be threaded. Already the public perception as a result of this today, as I have seen in the social media platform, is that Tati is ruthless, she's money hungry, and she is no better than Shane and Jeffree. And so what's happening now is we're comparing this situation, which is completely separate, okay, to her interactions with Jeffree, James, and Shane, okay, which are completely two different situations. I'm not saying that Tati didn't have part in all that. She may have. But I think that what people are jumping to is that this situation speaks loud and clear to Tati's character. And I think that's the question you have to ask yourself as a viewer. Does it? To me, it does somewhat. But I won't know until I read what she comes back and says. I mean, she might have really legitimate responses to this. She and her husband, you know? So I don't know. Now, I want to go in here and I want to read you... my glasses! Drama Esquire's... a response to all of this. They were so nice about letting me read this. Now, you have to go way down to find, because it's like 16 hours ago. Okay, so they start and they say, today's the kind of day being a YouTube drama attorney is useful. Just reviewing the statement of claim filed against Tati Westbrook, Halo Beauty, and her husband. Stay tuned for my legalese translation. Plaintiff has also demanded a jury trial rather than having the case heard just in front of a judge, which tends to be quicker and quieter and better for business people. Okay, so he thinks ordinary people will not look on Tati as favorably. And then it goes up, opening line of the complaint. This is a lawsuit caused by the defendant's greed. Okay, starting out gently there, I see. And then it goes up. I guess I'm assuming I said he said. He said, she said. I don't know. Drama Esquire. Okay. Drama Esquire refers to this partner as Dude. Dude says James and Tati basically told him to chill the F out and let Tati lead any makeup development talks. And so he stopped, calling James his best friend in an email reply. Uh-oh, never do business with friends, kids. True story, I agree with that. Dude then says that James took him to lunch at Barney's to break up with him and told him that he and Tati would be working. The reason why I'm reading this is because for somebody as dumb as me, people always assume I'm so smart. There are some things I'm very smart at, okay? I got a true crime book club, don't come for me, okay? But some of this kind of stuff, listen, I can solve a cozy mystery. I can. I love reading the cozy mystery books. But sometimes this kind of stuff is so confusing to me, I really don't get it, okay? But if you read this, it breaks it down. Okay, Dude then says that James took him to lunch at Barney's to break up with him and told him that he and Tati would be working with another company on the launch of her palette because it had been an offer too good to refuse. Dude was obviously not happy with this, didn't understand why Halo couldn't be cut in on the deal, and protested right up to the launch of Tati's palette. He says that he tried to talk to Tati, but James wouldn't let him because of her mental state leading up to the launch. So this is the situation. Everything was supposed to be underneath Halo Beauty, okay? And he was led to believe, suggestively, that the makeup and all this kind of stuff was going to be underneath Halo Beauty. That she wasn't going to start Tati Beauty, okay? And that he was going to have 1/3 of Halo Beauty, which was going to be palettes, makeup, the pills and all that kind of stuff. And that supposedly he also suggests in there, allegedly, that he could get, she could get James Charles and Jeffree and all these people to support this. So then you're looking at millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Okay, so imagine somebody comes to you and you're starting this company and they say, okay, well, you know, like they want to get you from 1/2 to 1/3, which is you're taking a major loss. And you're like, okay, I agree to do that. But here's the deal, like all further things, right? Fragrances, beauty, palettes, makeup, anything, right? Which we then saw what happened with the palette and Shane Dawson helping Tati sell that palette and it sold out like that quick, right? So, you know, it's like she did have these people helping her, but if you heard that back in the day and thought about the pull that James Charles and Jeffree Star and all these people have, right? That, and Manny and Laura, that would really make you think that, like, I'm going to be making money beyond my wildest dreams, right? So that's what his complaint is, as I understand it, okay? Okay, hold on a second. Dude was obviously not happy with this, didn't understand why Halo couldn't be cut in on the deal, and protested right up to the launch of Tati's palette. He says that he tried to talk to Tati, but James wouldn't let him because of her mental state leading to launch. I guess because he's a sucker for punishment, Dude pushed ahead in trying to launch Halo Beauty skincare, including a setting spray and primer, but says that James and Tati refused to play ball and wouldn't approve samples, basically delaying launch of the products. Instead, he says they announced Tati fragrance. Again, dude was like, and why isn't this going to be a Halo product? Dude says that James and Tati wanted to do something on their own and had very little to do with the creation and launch of Tati Beauty. Just for emphasis, dude alleges that James and Tati had little to do with the formulas, design, publicity, or launch of Tati Beauty. Basically, dude is saying that he didn't make the billions James promised him because after the vitamin launch, James and Tati focused on other business lines that he says were supposed to be Halo lines, but that they did under oath companies to cut him out. If it's true, it would be a breach of Tati and James. Okay, he goes on here and says all this kind of stuff. You guys, this is really, really long. So I don't feel like maybe I should probably read all this. I don't know. It just goes on and on and on. Should I? Okay. Okay, wait. Oh, I guess this is all on here. Hold on a second. He's also saying that James and Tati were negligent in delaying and interfering with the development or launch of any new Halo products and that they took excessive money from the company without getting the proper authorizations to do so. So it goes in there and it talks about how Tati's husband then divided like earnings between members of Halo Beauty and things like that. That's what he's referencing. It says that in the complaint. And just for good measure, dude is alleging that James... Oh, wait. Respect to how they weren't just negligent, but grossly negligent. He also says that made a fraudulent misrepresentation to him to get to trade his 50% share for a 33% share and that they never intended to follow. I mean, you guys, this is so much. I mean, there is so much here. It does at one point reference something to do with the Bye Sister video. Drama Esquire says, I can't wait to read James and Tati's response to this complaint. Remember, these are all just allegations against James and Tati at this point. Nothing's been proven in court. I'm sure their response will be very damning. With respect to this dude. So I guess it will be really interesting to see what they have to say about it. And that's where Drama Esquire, he or she, I have a feeling it's probably a she. She says that she wants to remind Drama Channel to reporting on this legal complaint as if everything is true. It's not true. It's just, these are all just allegations and they're one person's side. And until we have Tati and Tati's husband's side of the story, we don't actually know what is the truth, okay? And then it goes on, and someone said... this is Allie from Truth Sleuth, said, I like Tati and I like even more to believe that this is not nearly as bad as the way it's being presented. However, coming from a fan and a customer standpoint, I have a major issue with the statement she allegedly said, if true, regarding the quality of her products. And Drama Esquire responds and retweets this and says, the complaint is always going to make the other side sound really bad. It has to establish grounds for the case and lay out the initial allegations. I'd hold your judgment until we see Tati and her husband's response, or even better, the evidence put forth at trial. And you have to remember, okay, this is just a complaint. Like, absolutely nothing in this could be true. It could be all falsified. We have to wait and see what happens, and we have to wait and see, you know, what happens in the courtroom as well. If it ever gets to, if it ever gets to that point, or if it's settled outside of court. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going to happen. So then it goes on. Oh my God, it just goes on. Some of the more dry parts of the James and Tati lawsuit are interesting because they confirm some really shady things. And a lot of this I'm not going to get into. Okay, I don't see anything in this complaint that explains why Tati posted Bye Sister and whether or not Jeffree Star or Shane pressured her into it. The complaint doesn't even try to allege Bye Sister was revenge on James, although I guess you could argue that mentioning it infers that. But to me, that's a stretch based just on the text. I don't know what that means at all. Okay, the complaint against James Tati Halo references Bye Sister only in passing. Dude claims that Tati's promise to be able to influence James, Jeffree, Manny, Laura to support Halo and not sugar bear hair were undercut by James' IG story, James Charles. The next sentence mentions the fact that Tati posted Bye Sister, and that's it. And that is all in a footnote. Okay, so I don't know I guess I don't understand. I'm so confused. If you guys want to read it yourself, I will link it underneath there. But, you know, here's the thing. It's like, now that it's out there, do you guys think, listen, after all of that reading, I need some pumpkin cream cold brew. I mean, do you think that Tati can come back from this? I mean, really? Like, do you understand now why I'm so confused by all this? If you go in here, there's a lot of things that are coming out where people are like breaking it down and saying it's this simple, it's that simple. No, there's a lot going on there, okay? There's a lot about saying this. To me, it's also interesting because I remember a video where Tati came out and she said she was doing this whole thing on her own. Like, she was paying for every single thing herself. Well, now it's coming out that she's having a partner in this. I'm just asking the question, okay? Was that not true? Do you guys remember that? Tati said that that's why she was making 5 videos a week, and that she was saving all of her own money, and she was putting all of her money into Halo Beauty and all this kind of stuff, to come out and find out that she had a partner in all this that had 1/3 of the company. I mean, yes, okay, even if he's getting screwed, 1/3 of her company is still a major part in the company. You know what I mean? It's a major holding in any kind of company. So, I mean, did she have partners in this? Did she have business partners? Does she have business partners in Tati Beauty? Is it just her and her husband? I mean, there's a lot of questions here. I think there's a lot of questions that now, and this is the problem, okay? This is where it really comes in to talk about Tati's character from a public perception point of view. That people are going to look at this and they're going to say, well, if this is who Tati is behind the scenes, and who is she in front of, you know, in front of everybody? Who is she that she is projected to be? Are her videos that she's put out, the Bye Sister video and the Breaking the Silence video, are they complete lies? What were they? What was that all about, and why did she do that? Everybody is gonna lump this back together with all of that stuff again. It's all gonna be about that. And do I think that Tati can come back from all of this? In my personal opinion, no, I don't think that she can. I think it's too much. My battery died. I knew I shouldn't have tried to film that Halloween video and this video at the same time. But you know, I think, like, in my personal opinion, I do not believe that Tati can come back from this. I just don't. I think that, you know, she's already not posting anything. She's already not out there. I don't know that she really wants to come back. And now after this, I mean, this is going to be a lot, you know? 2020 has just been a real year for these beauty influencers, you know? It's like, in 2019, we asked for new up-and-coming beauty influencers to get a lot of attention. You know what I mean? And I haven't seen that happen. I've seen the drama really step up with the beauty influencers. Like, it's really gone to a very kind of dark place. You know what I mean? And what I'm really kind of wondering if it's going to happen is that we're just going to see the what's the word I'm looking for? The breakdown of the beauty community, period. I don't know that we're going to see a replacement. I mean, what the hell will we make videos about then? Who knows? I mean, I'll find something to make videos about over here. Hell, I got 5 other channels. But, you know, it's like, I think we're going to see the dissolution of the beauty community. I don't know that we're going to see people replacing them. I don't, you know? And, I mean, we're not seeing, like, people that are staying out of drama at this point, like Manny and Laura. We're not seeing them boost through the roof. We're not seeing the Raw Beauty Christies boost through the roof, you know, which I wish they would. We're seeing them kind of slowly grow. So, I don't know. I think people are tired of it. I think people are tired of trusting their time and their energy in these people and buying their products, only to find out that they're really kind of like maybe not the greatest people in the world. And I think it's really, you know, it's very telling. And I've tried to say on my channel for a long time, you know, that we look up to these people and we stand these people and all this kind of stuff, you know, but at the same time, why would we not, like when people excuse away, like Jeffree Star stuff and him not addressing it, right? Like, why would we not want the best for those people? And if we would want the best for those people, we would want them to, like, work on who they are every single day. Tati is somebody that I have really liked in the past, you know? And I think as, you know, her audience, I do think that we deserve a response to this. And I know people won't agree with that. But I think enough people are going to ask, well, what's going on here? You know, there's enough questions that at some point she's going to have to come out and talk. She can't, because now this is a legal issue. So she can't come out in a video, and she can't address these things, because if she does, it can be used in the court, you know, lawsuit and all this kind of stuff. The whole thing is messy. It's very, very messy, you know? And I was thinking about this earlier. I was talking to somebody on the phone about this. It's like, you know, these people were at the top of their game. Like, they had their own, they had basically started YouTube channels from nothing, and now they had makeup companies. They were making money beyond their wildest dreams. And you think about somebody out there, you know, you think about maybe one of you that's working in Sephora or Ulta or at the MAC counter, right? And you've got 200 subscribers on your YouTube channel. And maybe one day you think, you know, I can be like Jeffree, or I can be like James, or I can be like, you know, Patrick Starr, Nikki Tutorials, or Tati Westbrook. And maybe one day I can have all of that. Well, maybe one of the lessons from all of this is to not be consumed with greed along the way. Because as you go up to the top and you become more greedy and more, if money is important to you, then you lose your hopes and dreams along the way. These are people that literally had it all. They had it all, you know? And it's very, very sad to me. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.